Hey folks, not but a couple of days ago, I was talking to my buddy AB over a Discord call, and in that Discord call, I threw a bunch of scenarios at him that were kind of like would you rathers, but it's just like whether or not he would actually take the situation that I was posing to him. Because of that, I was able to actually eke out one or two more sessions of Among Us from him that he wouldn't have otherwise played with me. Because of that, I think that would be a good idea to do for a video. I'll give you all some scenarios that have both a good side and a bad side to them, and you just have to tell me in the comments below whether or not you would take that deal. Just as a disclaimer for this and all future videos that are like this, I don't mean to insult anybody or any group of people with what I say as like negative stuff, and so I'm gonna try to keep it as unproblematic as possible, but if I do in some like abstract way do that, just understand that I don't mean to make it a problem. Anyways, here we go. You get to have one infinitely regenerating cookie, but every time you say a specific 3-word phrase, you get smacked by 4 times world's strongest man, Brian Shaw. Every time you say the phrase, a different one takes its place, so you can get smacked multiple times throughout the course of your life. Most people, I imagine, would probably say no to this because it's literally just a cookie, but like, imagine you just shave off the corner of one cookie and then it regenerates, and then you keep on doing that over and over again, and you can have like a cookie shop where you don't have to pay for materials or anything. Every 3 days, you get 20 grams of gold and a locked safe that you own, but in return, you have to survive an encounter with King Von for 5 minutes every single time an earthquake, hurricane, or tsunami happens. I know at least some of y'all have seen like the meme where there's like a bunch of guys talking about how King Von was an indiscriminate killer and shit, so I think this one is kind of appropriate. Reenact the entirety of the first Die Hard film as Bruce Willis's character for $50. I mean, keep in mind that like canonically in the film Bruce Willis's character does survive, but I mean I think it'd just be a little bit painful, but also kind of a moment for you to aura farm. You have to run a restaurant that serves food that you have never even heard of before for 5 months, but at the end of it you become the CEO of Crumble Cookies. And by run the restaurant, I mean you have to come up with the recipes and cook the food and serve it yourself. If your business goes under in those 5 months, you have to become a homeless person in the country in which your food is from for the remainder of those 5 months. And it's completely random. You could get Swedish food, you could get Indian food, you could get like Aboriginal Australian food. Induce CTE in multiple random children, but in return, you receive a pill that lets you fly for 5 minutes after taking it that you can use at any time throughout the course of your life, but only once. Your blood can be used to see through walls by smearing it on them like a cool superpower, but you have to work at Popeyes for the rest of your life until the day of your death. And I mean, you can use your blood to, look through anything that you smear your blood on, not just walls. It's just, that's the most basic concept that I could come up with. Oh, and it's not like two-way like glass. It's one way just for you. I'm not saying that you can't make money with it, but what I am saying is that even if you make like $1 billion somehow using that power, you still have to clock in for your 9 to 5 at Popeyes. A permanent fog sets over your home state for the rest of its existence, but you get one singular guaranteed date with a 7 out of 10 every week until you find a girlfriend, but the fog stays permanent. You can restart life all the way back from the beginning, knowing what you know now is going to happen, but the only events that you can actually influence are related to who wins the Super Bowl. Honestly, if it was me, I'd probably take that deal. Reliving it is better than just seeing it and then trying to change it and then failing anyways. The Jacksonville Jaguars win every Super Bowl for the next 100 years, but you get unlimited gems in Clash of Clans. I don't really care about football, so I think I would take this deal. Oh shit, you know what I didn't think about? You could just bet on the Jaguars every single year and then make like billions of dollars. I need to rethink that one. You are automatically married at 18 to the most beautiful, kind 40-year-old woman or man you've ever seen in your entire life, who loves you, but you die when he or she dies, no matter how old you are or how healthy you are. Kind of like how ancient Egyptians used to do it, You can unredact 22 images from the Epstein files completely, but you have to eat a Costco sheet cake within 3 days, every 3 days, for 2 months straight. Me personally, I don't think this is worth it, but I mean, I don't really know the sugar content of sheet cakes, so maybe I'm putting it a little bit overboard, but just let me know. You can go back in time to kill any historical figure that you want, but for the rest of your life, every time you take a shower, you get soap in your eyes. And I'm not going to include the caveat of like it, causing long-term health problems. It's just going to sting a little bit every time. You get Superman's powers, but only if you single-handedly resolve the Russia-Ukraine war. If it concludes without your public and explicit influence, you have steroid back acne for the next 20 years of your life, but without the advantage of actually taking steroids. You can transform into a 6'10", 240-pound bodybuilder named John Jackson every time you say Shazaxon. But in order to transform back every time, you have to eat surströmming. You get a dream every single night where when you drink alcohol, you're capable of kicking literally anybody's ass, even like the MMA champion of the world, which I don't even know I don't know who that is, but you can kick his ass. But every time in real life when you try to eat a donut, you have to drop it at least one time on the ground before continuing to eat it. You are functionally immortal with a 22-year-old body, but for 5 days out of every month, you are 100 years old and you are mortal. You go to the crossroads and you make a deal with the devil to become one of the best musicians of all time, right? And you become really successful, really famous, have a lot of money, but in return, any children that you have during the course of your life, or really anybody that you have kind of a paternal or maternal relationship with, gets possessed by the devil for the rest of their life. $500,000 to feel all the pain that you're going to experience throughout the course of your entire life within the course of 5 seconds. That doesn't mean that you don't feel any pain for the rest of your life. Your life goes on, normally. You just kind of feel everything for like 5 seconds one time, including emotional pain. You yourself have to brutally publicly execute your best friend in front of the entire world, but in return, you get to guarantee that no matter what they did throughout the course of their entire life, they get into like the best heaven possible. 47 gnomes at your command. That's all. That's it. Look up what gnomes do. Five Nights at Freddy's, the first game in real life, in actual time, but at the end of it, you get an awesome lightsaber. But keep in mind that you can die, if Freddy comes around and screams at you. You can choose one singular person to read their thoughts anytime you get sick. Whew. Okay, I think that's about it for me. I think I'm beginning to realize that this is gonna get old really, really, really fast, so this might be the only video of its kind that I make. But if you guys did like this content, hit the subscribe button if you want, press the like button, or maybe even, leave a comment about which one of these you would accept, which one of these deals. Anyways, folks, I think I will see y'all later.